Chazaku Baruch, Bezat Hashem Mincha and Arvit is going to be 7:20. Please be on time. The Shulchan Aruch writes in the Halachot, in the topic of Dineh B'tziat Apat, which means the sort of breaking of the bread, that a person is supposed to, before the bracha of Hamotzi Lecha Min Haaretz, actually cut the bread a little bit, not all the way, to make sure that it's still complete. And then after he finishes the bracha, or says Hamotzi Lecha Min Haaretz, then he continues cutting. And the reason and the logic behind that is so that you minimize the time frame between the bracha and the eating, and therefore to prepare everything that could be prepared beforehand, in essence. Now, the Shulchan Aruch was talking, obviously, in a case where that would be beneficial, where that would sort of help. So it's talking about much harder bread, and therefore, like sometimes you have a very hard bread, it's difficult to cut. And some breads today even are still like that it's harder to cut because it's tough and you need to kind of break the ice. But the typical loaves that are made today, and the pitot and the other types of bread and the chalot, they're actually not so difficult to cut. So the opposite, if you start taking a knife and you start making cuts in it, and now you have to go ahead after the hamotzi and like kind of search where the cut is, and if you're using a knife, so then you got to continue with the knife, and then if you're using your hands, it's not going to really make a difference anyway. So then obviously the ruling of the Shulchan Aruch is not really applicable, and that's why you see today there is not that many people that do this, that cut the bread before, and the reason is because it doesn't really add any material benefit to the process of making it as soon as possible. Certainly not on Shabbat, because even the Shulchan Aruch says you shouldn't do this on Shabbat, you shouldn't make cuts on Shabbat, and the reason being because you need lechem mishneh, and you don't want to lose out on the lechem mishneh. So on Shabbat it goes without saying, but even during the week, na'agu ha'olam, the common custom is to not touch the bread, not do anything to the bread. Again, if it was a hard bread, then you're right, then according to the Shulchan Aruch, and that's what should be done, a little bit should be cut beforehand to get the process started. But that's not the common scenario. Baruch Adonai le'olam. Amen.